Hey guys, so in this video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So, I know I'm here in Jujutsu Infinite and you're probably thinking, is this going to be like, Jujutsu Infinite, ramblings? Like, is this going to be a new separate thing? Well, no, not for now. I'll do that in a separate time, but in today's video, I'm going to be doing I guess, review of the game, basically. And when I'm in this scenario of reviewing the game, I want to make sure that I try and it. I'll try and get this from an experience of someone who is let's go with unlucky, because in this game, admittedly, the strongest curse techniques again in most cases, not every case, is is just any of the special grades. I mean, I've heard that soul manipulation isn't good, but I mean, I want it just because I want it. But regardless, I I want to see how this game would play out compared to if you're lucky versus how lucky you aren't. So in this video, I'm gonna be using an alt to try and grind to a reasonable level, and we're just gonna see how long, well, not how long, but I'm thinking of maybe instead of getting all the way to level 420, which that will just take a long period of time just for straight grinding like that. It's more like than probably a whole day. Like if I had the two times if I had the two times XP, if the codes are still active for two times XP, I would I would try and do go as far as I can with two times XP active, but I'll just go with I would say a level that is you're in the game and you've played for a bit, so that you can start forming an opinion of how easy it is to start this game. Now, what I guess I should probably say there, I'm looking for some criteria. First is obviously, is this game easy to start? Now, I would say but this is before we get into the actual what the video me showing what the video is actually about. So, in this video, I'm just going to I'm going to section things off, because I doubt you want to see a 30-minute video of just me straight grinding up to a certain level, with sped up footage, a time lapse. But I mean, I'm just gonna get to a fair level. I'm thinking currently 120 being a fraction of this, because well, getting all the way to at the I guess the main benchmark of this game is 240, but that is a lot of time investment for just the one video. So I'm going to try and do 120 levels, just from doing the starting from the start of the game, just trying to see is it easy enough to get to level 120. But I'm also going to be doing it with no no pay to win, nothing at all. I'm just going to be using two spins, and I'm going to be, no, not maybe not two spins, but I'm going to be using like I would say only common spins. Now, again, this is unlikely that you'll actually do this in the first place, but if someone is unlucky enough to only get common spins, I just want to see if this game has like if this game is, I guess, in a way easy enough at for the start for someone to without any sort of ability like to get more spins. Will they be able to actually play the game with like what bad luck would give them? So, uh, wait. Okay, so thank you, Music Box, for winding it back. Anyway, so the first one is this game easy to beat? with common techniques. The second one is how badly or it how should the how much your build affects how you play. Now, I'm going to be again in this video, I'm going to be mainly focusing on techniques because I mean, if you really wanted to, you can, I'm most likely sure, you can probably just build your way up with just a melee and you will be probably pretty fine because you I mean, they give you a lot of options when it comes to melee. But I'm gonna just try and see what happens if you have very bad luck. I'm going to see what happens if you just get only common techniques. Hold on, let me. If you only use common techniques, will you be able to play the game and get I would say, a moderate amount of experience with the game? Focusing mainly on the curse techniques because this is based off of Jujutsu Infinite. So most likely a new player will be focusing on the techniques like for example, Curse Queen or Star Rage or Gamble Fever, whatever. They will A new player will be most likely focusing on that. If they're unlucky, and if they're unlucky, they will and they're just stuck with common techniques, will they be able to still play the game and experience the game for what it is? Now, that's the basically the main two criteria. Is this game easy enough for someone with bad luck to play the game? Or in other words, is this game like really just I guess luck to win? Because you can't. I mean, you could pay for wrong thing. You can pay for spins, but that is a lot of demo dollars for just getting a guaranteed curse technique that or special grade curse technique when I mean again this is before I actually do it. I assume that it is easier to do the to just spin a bunch of times, get two curse techniques, and then play the game. I assume it's easier to do it that way. And then again, you don't really. I mean, again, this is before the review. I assume this is an assumption. I'm going to play it out in a moment. Is this game easy enough to do or to play without extremely lucky curse techniques? Alright, so this is gonna be me signing off from here until we get into my alt account. Alright, well, this is me. Oh, right. Excuse me. This is Man Like Gibbon here, again. This is after I recorded the intro. So, as you can see here, I have not used any of or any of the codes on this account, and I only have two roles into the special grade. I've gotten both construction and cloning technique as my two curse techniques that I will be using. I will not switch these, and I will be using these until I hit, at minimum, level 120. I may continue leveling with this account if I go with a part 2, but just for reference, this is what I got right now. So this is literally right after I did the intro fight when you're playing. It's not even that much of a spoiler. You're playing. You fight as Gojo against well, I guess basically Sukuna's final form. Regardless, this is what I got for my two curse techniques, and I will be using these until I hit level 120. So that's about it for this. I will be back shortly to give you an update. Alright, so I wanted to give you a real quick update. I just got to level 32. This is roughly, I think, did give or take 20 minutes maybe after I gave you the, like, 1 minute clip of me after I defeated as Gojo defeated Sukuna. So basically, so far, I mean, I've only completed one quest, but with the rewards from the quest board, I mean, I have just by chance alone, I have not used any like luck at all. I mean, I just have this, but it's like I was literally just playing the game, and I got both the polished beckoning cat and also the demon finger, both within like two separate chests, which were back to back chests from the missions that you do just from the quest board. That's basically it from for me right now. It was just a real quick update like that. Uh, my luck is weird. If you continue to watch this channel, you'll just find out that my luck is so cursed. That's why if you watch one of my blog shirts videos, you'll notice that my title is and will remain to be Devil's Luck because my luck is so weird and confusing and not in a good way. Anyway, this is Man Like Given. Oh, I forgot to say that I was signing in again, but whatever. This is Man Like Given signing off for only a few more seconds. Alright, well, uh, Man Like Given here. So, real quick, again, another update. So, this is, 30 minutes roughly after I just gave you that other update. I have now just hit level 60, the halfway benchmark of this, like, little, uh, not scenario, I guess test? I, I'm really struggling to remember the word that, like, I meant for this challenge, I guess. Yeah, I guess it would be a challenge in a way, but regardless, I'm just hit level 60. I just ranked up so that I can access 61, but I'm not going to go past that. I'm just going to go immediately do the quest that's associated with it. So, mind you, I have all of this, like all of construction and cloning, completely mapped out. So, and I'm not going to get rid of cloning, even though, honestly, it's not the best of the fighting styles. Excuse me. Curse techniques, because I mean, with hold on, with common techniques, you only get 3, which is very bad because you can have up to 8 like abilities at once. Even if you get an uncommon, at least you'll have a full like set of moves to use from. I only have 6, and this is the maximum I will ever have. So, and if you're curious about the stats, here's my health, nothing special. Here's my focus, again, nothing special. Technique, I only maxed this out so that I could get maximum damage from my abilities. I'm not going to do chanting because that's a lot of stat investment and I don't really have a lot anyway. In strength, again, nothing special. But, real quick, before anything else, this is the one thing that I will concede. I will use Divergent Fist because a little bit extra damage won't hurt. And boom, just like that. And now I've made the build a little bit better with Divergent Fist. I really wish I could just use it just to show it, but regardless, this is my progress so far. This is like an hour into the challenge. I'm at level 60 and I have well, if you want to look at what I've gotten so far, those are just materials. This is the cosmetics. There's that beckoning cat. I also got a second demon finger. This is just a story item if you don't know. And I got this like a little bit after. I don't remember when I got that exactly, but I got it. But I will put this on because I do need better clothing. I throw this on as well. So now here is the actual set that I will be using right now for the level 60 quest. Alright, this is Man Like Given signing off again until you get an update. So, signing in, Man Like Given here. I'm gonna be real. I have done this for roughly. Hold on, let me see. 2 hours. I've done this challenge for 2 hours. Now, mind you, in the first hour, I got up to level 60. In the second hour, it took me twice as much time to earn 30 levels as it took me to earn
60. Now, mind you, I'm not using a cursed object or cursed tool for a weapon, so I'm not even like, hold on. I don't have anything in my cursed tools that I'm using. I'm using a blade, purifying dagger, or rusty katana. I have not used any of that. I've just been using construction and cloning technique for my main strength, and then on the off side we have rising kick, cursed tendril, and divergent fist that you can learn very quickly, or you gain pretty easily in the skill tree. Now, mind you, the reason why I'm giving you another quarter update of the goal being 120, I'm gonna be real. I really don't want to do it. This is like such a slog. It's just the thing is, if you don't if you don't know clones or the cloning technique, out of the three abilities that you could use, since it's a common curse technique, only one really does damage, being Clone Toss, which is a two-hit move, which you kick a enemy or target upwards, and then a follow-up attack is when you spawn a clone behind them. Once you kick them into the air, they will fly for a bit, and then they will be smacked down by your clone. Now the thing is, this is that this move isn't that bad. The problem is, the other two abilities are not useful. With form clones, the only purpose they have is to provide a split second distraction from like any attack that's incoming. And even if you try and use it to get like a get out of jail free card with your clone swap, it does not help, because the thing is, the clones, they have basically such little HP. They are not that useful compared to what like an actual like companion would work like. If we were to compare this to, say, Blox Fruits, if I were to compare it to the ghost that you can use with the Ghost Fruit, the ghosts at least have, I would say, maybe 6k health. That is pushing it, if I had to tell you. 6k health. The clones here in Jujutsu Infinite have, I would say, barely 100. And in most cases, even at this level of level 90, any attack is most likely going to instantly kill any clone that you have. So, even though from clones, yes, can do damage, it won't do anything to actually help you, because as soon as you spawn those clones, they are instantly going to most likely die at any stage beyond like level 30. With Clone Toss, it's not that bad. For a second move, though, like, why is it the only move to be, like, that's useful? And then Clone Swap is more of just a utility move. I, I just, I don't really have the words to speak right now. Regardless. Now, Construction. Oddly enough, I think I kind of like Construction, because its moveset is simple. Pistol, you shoot in a line that is literally just boom, and then that's it. Nothing special, nothing crazy, just you shoot once and then you fire, a bullet in a direction. Not that crazy. Cleaver Crash, although it's not that great, it perfectly goes well with Clone Toss, because during that move's duration, you are able to charge up Cleaver Crash, which causes you to jump up and then you slam down on a big circle that you can which is your reticle of where you can actually hit. Now, mind you, I kind of like Construction because it really flows well with, like, simply enough, Clone Toss is the only saving grace of cloning of the cloning technique. But that's bad because if a person only has cloning technique, they're like the only move they're gonna get out of value out of the curse technique is literally clone toss. That is legitimately it. If a person was doing like a one one roll, like one curse technique run in this game, that would be so painful because you would have to have only clone toss, and then at that point you can't even use like a sorcerer build. You would just be basically a melee build with just like a one-off time you're going to use your curse technique. That is not a good scenario for a common technique. Now I know what you're gonna say. You don't that like a common technique shouldn't be that strong. Now the thing is, no matter what, a curse technique should be able to be usable. If it's in the game, it should be usable. Is this usable? Yes, I can admit that. However, only one move is has actual application. The other two in in the cloning technique, they don't have application. That is the problem with this build currently. Now, I can technically kind of break my own rules and re-roll my curse technique, but I don't want to do that. But I also don't really want to grind all the way to level 120 when it already took me 2 hours just to get 30 more levels up from level 60. So I think I might just call this challenge basically done. Now, I may be basically cheaping my way out of this because I mean, I don't want to do it. I'm not saying it's impossible. You can very well easily do it. It's just, well, I say easily, but it's not it's not going to be a fun time. It's just very boring and it's just you're hitting the same buttons over and over again. Now, mind you, I get that the leveling system of Jujutsu Infinite is basic as hell, but at even then, at least with other techniques, you're not using just four out of the entire repertoire that you have. You're not using just four techniques. What in reality, what you're really using is eight. That is the maximum that you can use. Eight. Uh, sorry. I'm using four. I can only use four in great succession with each other. Then I have to also use my melee. That now for the person who can use eight, they can use their melee, which can be like seven or eight, a like melee abilities, and then also another eight techniques for their curse or innate curses. Like that's the main problem I have with this. I with this challenge. I knew it was gonna be challenging at one point, but it's not. I It's not challenging. It's just the only challenge is how long do I really want to stay on this one thing just to prove a point? And I mean, my point is already proven. That like, well, actually, it's not really I didn't really have a point to prove. In reality, I was looking for I just had the question, what would happen if you try to play Jujutsu Infinite with the most basic technique? Or the with two basic techniques. And well, I got my answer. It will be super slow as hell and you will not have fun. Now, again, this is just be only for if someone has like really bad luck with their rolls, which I mean, you get like the game devs give you like at minimum like 200 with all the codes that they keep releasing, so I doubt you're gonna be that bad or you're gonna have that bad luck compared to, well, I say quote unquote me, but then again uh well, one, my luck is cursed if you listen to that part, but also uh I mean, I doubt you're only rolling twice in this game ever. because I in genuinely no one is that lucky to hit a 0.25% chance twice in a row to hit two special grade or special special grade curse techniques. No one is that lucky. Well, regardless, that the challenge of can you play Jujutsu Infinite with common techniques or it based with the context of you just had very bad luck. Yes, you really can. In well, just to add to why I think my luck is cursed. Look, I got a second one of these. I got I got seven. Well, actually, I didn't use one. So yeah, I have seven of these. One of those, I hold on. Let me. I have a whole new fortune gourd, and then I mean, I only use I think two or three of these and one of those to get all this roughly within 2 hours. Now, but that's just my curse luck. Regardless, is it possible to beat Jujutsu Infinite with common techniques? I would say yes. Is it going to be fun? Absolutely not. It is going to be painstakingly slow because you are forced to. Well, if you, for me, if you're using if you're using the cloning technique, you will only roughly have one move that is actually available for you to use freely on any enemy slash boss, kinda. And the thing is, with bosses, sometimes they don't even get hit twice with the clone toss, so it's also like only half as useful. But with that, with at least construction, you have like something to work with. So, in all, I, I mean, obviously you should not try and use common techniques, but in my opinion, they should rework cloning technique. I know again it is a common technique, so it shouldn't be that strong. But like it shouldn't be like well, as neutered as it is currently because only one move is able to properly damage an enemy. If it had a if like uh, uh, common techniques had four abilities at minimum, I would be perfectly fine with that, and only I would be fine with that. But the cloning technique requires to have a like if it needs a utility move, make the first one a utility which spawns clones of you. Hell, you can change the way that the clones work. You can make it so they have a fraction of your health. See how mine is 3.4k? Maybe instead they can have like the hold on. Let me if we go into my stats. Right now, my technique is the highest at 80. Say I don't know how this will work in calculation, but say if this was at the max possible. I don't know what the current max possible amount for technique is, so don't ask me that. But say like based on how much technique you have, the higher the amount that the clones get from your HP pool. So that incentivizes you to have high HP but also high technique so that you can't well, I mean, I I doubt anybody wants to have like low HP in this game because it if you get comboed really hard by a boss, you are not going to enjoy it regardless if you have high or low HP because well, either one you're dead or two you're just not gonna have a lot of HP left regardless. But what I think they should do for cloning technique is make make the first move have a fraction of your health. I guess at the start of the game, I would say only 25 to 20% of your max HP. This will be low enough for it to be very balanced. In for well, in reality, you could just keep Clone Toss as the second move. For the teleport, I would say just if make a condition for one of the moves, like if it if you use the move well, if you use form clones while clones are already active, maybe just have it like a reticle or a like I guess a glowing form around your clones to like swap places with one of them, so that we don't like, because clone swap I don't think it's that useful of a move in the first place to like have its own required slot. And also, if you make it so you're able to also teleport with the form clones ability, you know, like along with the rework of the power itself, I would say make the cooldown much higher. I think the current cooldown is 35 seconds. It, maybe it doesn't need to be that high. I would say like just up it by 10 seconds up to 45. I feel like that would be fair if it had two functionalities instead of just one. So, it for my idea for a reworked cloning technique, make it so form clones is able to well make clones based off of a percentage of your health. The higher your technique, the higher the fraction of health you get. And also, if you use the ability while clones are active still, mind you, I would well, another thing is that I don't think the clones should have like a timer for how long they can live. I mean, the only thing that I think like would be problematic with that idea is maybe if people disconnect or something. But just again, I'm not a well, I say again, but brain doesn't want brain. Yeah, although I'm not a game maker, so I can't say this without like potentially sounding dumb to a game maker, but I would say just attach the clones to the player itself. Kind of like how well, again, I don't know, but kind of like how in Bloxford's the ghosts are connected to the player it themselves. So if they leave, the ghosts also just die and delete themselves as well. But for the next two moves, I I feel like uh maybe just like one actually an idea for a second ability apart from like clone toss. It, we would well, I say I don't know why I keep like messing up with my English for some reason. I think it would be a good idea to have like give the clones like one or two abilities from your own list of curse techniques that you can use. Such as if I spawn clones right now, they're able to either use a pistol, uh, like cleaver crash, minigun barrage, like one, just only allow them to use one of those curse techniques, just so that they can actually provide more value. Like make it like give us a move that allows us to buff our clones just a little bit. Hell, you can make cloning more of a like I guess I don't know how to put this, but I mean I guess like a summoner type curse technique where you're meant to take more of a backseat role and just like provide support, but that's what I would propose for improving the cloning technique. I don't really have any problems with construction. I mean, it's not like maybe if I didn't have it like alongside cloning, then it wouldn't be outshining cloning right now. But I might make a separate video where I don't use cloning. But regardless, I really do not think like overall in Jujutsu Infinite, do not use like cloning as one of your common or excuse me curse techniques. Always try to get at least I would say one of the rares or above, because with a common technique you will have less abilities at
compared to other people because with commons you are stuck with only three, and they're not gonna be a good like. It's not gonna be a good it's not gonna be a good time for you. I mean, the game won't be difficult. It'll just be very slow because you're going to have to wait for all of your abilities to recharge con- constantly because you're, if you have cloning, you can only use one. So then you have to rely on four other moves from a completely different curse technique, meaning aka for me, construction. You would have to wait for the you would have to use the other three moves from the other curse technique, and then you're just stuck waiting, unless you're comboing with your melee, which, I mean, at that point, you might as well not have the curse technique in the first place. So, in general, it in Jujutsu Infinite, is it possible to use common technique, or, well, I forget what I originally said, but can you use common curse techniques in Jujutsu Infinite and be fine? Yes. But will it be fun? No, definitely not, because it is so boring to just constantly use only four moves, again, only for cloning, but, well, cloning combined with something else, but it is so boring to only use four moves and then wait for a cooldown and then use those four moves again. And at one point, if I'm high enough level, the enemies are gonna have so much HP. You're going to have to use all four of these moves so many times in a row to actually deal enough damage to kill even a cursed user. Like a gold mission curse user, like at like level 240, that might take so much longer. That might take, like, no joke, like up to 3 minutes. You can easily, like, for me as a level 420, I can definitely take down one of like a curse user, like maybe like 2 minutes max. Because I mean, they're like all you gotta do is just parry when they're like when they charge in, and then that's your biggest opening. So then that's when you have to combo them. But like with this, you get you get you get four moves to combo with, again, only with cloning, at least to my knowledge. And then you have to switch over to your melee. And if you have a curse tool, you would probably switch to that in between the melee and the curse technique. So, just honestly, just use rare curse techniques over commons and uncommons. I mean, I haven't made a video on uncommons, so I might change my opinion to like if you well we'll see in the future if I make another video about uncommon curse techniques because this took a bit out of me. I'm gonna be real, and honestly, I do not want to play any further. So this is Manly Gibbons signing off, and thank you for watching. Signing back in one last time for today's video. So in retrospect, honestly, in Jujutsu Infinite, this game requires you to have like well, I say requires, but it in this game you are incentivized. That's a better way of putting it. You are incentivized to get a good curse technique. Now, you don't need a special grade. I know I say that, but I have three special grade curse techniques active. I know that's pretty ironic. And but the thing is, you don't need like all the new crazy, or you don't need the most like crazy thing to like do well in this game. Like in honesty, if you can get the if you're leveling up as a noob to Jujutsu Infinite, one of the best, actually the best curse technique in my opinion for leveling up is literally just Volcano, which is a legendary. Now, that
again, although a legendary isn't the easiest curse technique to get, it is still, if you could get volcano as a curse technique, you are pretty much golden for a large majority of the game. I played the game for like, well, like playing it on and off several weeks straight for uh, leveling up with volcano, and honestly, it has been like it it's been like really nice to play with. It it does a lot of damage, and also it has big AoE moves. So it's good against cursed spirits. It's good against cursed. Well, not okay. The only thing is, it's not the best against cursed users in particular. Those are the only enemies that you might have problems with, but you could just use Volcano in tandem with another curse technique. I don't have any particular recommendations other than maybe just using like it. If I had to recommend like maybe a rare, I guess I've heard cryokinesis is pretty good, but then again, all the I I've heard good things about all the rare techniques in the first place, but in general, Volcano is like a very good legendary curse technique to have as a like to grind levels in this game. In uh, closing remarks, do not use any common techniques. I know this whole video was like me wondering should you use it, but I mean, or not should you, but can you use it to actually play the game? Yes, you can, but it's like anybody would tell you, you really shouldn't use any common techniques when you are like. It's very easy to get a better technique in the first place, and also you have like the biggest avenue of getting better techniques because the makers of this game constantly make new codes in the first place with like a, in most cases like 20 plus spins. I know some people's luck out there isn't the best, but you're I mean, if you're that unlucky to get several commons in a row, my condolences, sir, or ma'am, whatever you go by. But in general, do not use common curse techniques. Try and get yourself the best grinding curse technique, in my opinion, Volcano. It will be your friend for quite a bit in this game. And this is Manlight Gibbon signing off for the final time. Thank you for watching this video.